Hello YouTube, welcome back over to GamingHouse, and we're doing a lunch hour video. Been forever since I last did one. If you're new to the channel and don't know what a lunch hour video is, essentially I pick a game, franchise, what have you, talk about that, what I liked about the series, and what I'd like to see done in the future with it. I have several other videos done in the past, some are of good quality, some not so much, like the Predator one. Don't go watch the Predator one, but do watch the Predator one. If you know what I'm saying. Don't watch it though. And for this lunch hour we will be talking about the Aliens Colonial Marines. Not the other Aliens games, because quite frankly I do not even remember myself playing them. I know I have, but I don't remember them. But I'm kind of excited to kind of get into this / tear it apart a little bit, because, well, let's just get into it and we'll just tear it up along the way. Aliens Colonial Marines is published by Sega and developed by Gearbox Software and Timegate Studios and Demerge Studios and Nerve Software. I don't think anyone knows who it's developed by anymore, in all honesty. And that brings us to the first point: is this game is shrouded by developer mystery, because it's supposed to be Gearbox, but apparently they shoved a lot of work off to other people and all that, supposedly because they were working on Borderlands 2 at the time. And part of the hate for this game is what we were shown like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, I couldn't even remember, at E3 was not what we received at all. And pretty much at that point in time, it's what definitely started, for me at least, where I need to start taking E3 videos with like a cupful of salt at that point. So let's get into the story about this game. You play as a Colonial Marine Winter, who's in charge of a squad consisting of O'Neill, eventually Bella, and some other people that drop in and out, including your commander as well as one of the ship pilots. But you're responding to a distress signal sent out by Hicks, so you're heading there to LV-426 to find out what the hell happened. And of course, you get there, you find the ship, you board the ship. Turns out shit's gotten real on this ship. There's xenomorphs everywhere. But then it takes a quick dive and immediately introduces the Weyland-Yutani PMCs, and at that point the game becomes another shooter. And that's one of the large complaints of this game, is you are fighting just as many human enemies as you are aliens. And all in all, the story just not that good. Convoluted. Characters I wanted to punch in the face the entire time. O'Neill, pass the smart gun, man. Pass the smart gun. You're not good with it. Bella, you're also irritating. Also, O'Neill, Bella, why'd you let Bella die from the chest burster? Which has got to be hella more painful than just putting a bullet in her. But anyway, I digress. We could sit here all day and bash on things, but I'm just gonna get through this so I can get to my part, where I'd like to see for the sequel, if anyone would even trust a sequel. So story was blah. It did have drop in, drop out co-op, up to 4 people all together. Playing as other people, they looked unique and all that, but they weren't different. You just played as another person. You were able to select weapons within game, kind of feel overpowered, because you ran out in one weapon. All weapons took different ammo, so you could switch and do other things with other weapons. Mostly though, you would find mostly pulse rifle ammo, so the other weapons you didn't really get to try out. They had multiplayer, and the multiplayer is actually kind of fun in this game. The xenomorphs function more like xenomorphs. Apparently their AI got a buff in one of the DLCs. But when people were in control of them, they were able to do more complex things. I believe one of the multiplayer modes was called Survivor, or it was Escape, one of the two, but it was 4-on-4. 4 Marines try to escape through the area. They go through various things, trying to hack doors, steal doors, and get out to the extraction point, all while the xenomorphs are hunting them. Anytime at least one Marine makes it to the checkpoint, if all the others are dead, it respawns them. And that mode was kind of actually pretty exciting. Let's get into the DLC before we talk about the 1 or 2 things I actually liked about this game. The Bug Hunt DLC, that was actually pretty cool. It added more maps, but also added essentially a horde mode, where you were trying to get to an extraction point while fighting more dangerous versions of xenomorphs that kept coming at you with increasing waves. That world was actually pretty fun. I liked it. There was only like 2 times I cleared through, and those were both like nail biters. Second DLC was just map packs. Third DLC was also just map packs. And the fourth and final DLC was Stasis Interrupted, and that was a story DLC, and that actually added more context to Hicks, because his character was in the game, and it added more as a prequel to the start of Colonial Marines, which helped clear up some plot holes. Not all of them, but it cleared up some, and that was something. Now, of course, the game's got a lot of bad elements. The fact that, you know, we were straight up lied to, shown different gameplay. Graphics aren't up to par. There are untextured areas where aliens spawn. The aliens don't behave like aliens. There were good parts, and here's the good parts, which are something that should carry over into a sequel, and that's the customization. The customization of this game was actually pretty damn cool, between customizing your weapons. All the weapons felt like they belonged within the lore. They were just cool looking. Some of them were kind of useless, like the SMG, except for maybe for multiplayer, but I don't think anyone ever used it in multiplayer. But they all felt like they belonged. Customization for those weapons were cool. Customization for Marines and Xenomorphs for the multiplayer was actually pretty damn tits. And I enjoyed it. I would like to have seen more. I wish there was more. But, you know, unfortunately we're not going to see anything that adds to it. They also added movie characters for multiplayer skins. Strangely enough, they didn't have Vasquez, though. Which is weird, because you can play as a female Marine in the campaign and the multiplayer, but they didn't think to include Vasquez's character on the movie character list. But that's going to be it for talking about Colonial Marines. There's not much else to talk about that others haven't talked about. This horse has been beaten into dust at this point in time. So let's get into what I would like to see in a sequel, which I would actually be interested in a sequel for this if, you know, it's done right. So first off, Sega, if you still have it, don't give it to Gearbox. Give it to someone else, and that would solve one of your major problems right there. But if we'd like to see a sequel, story-wise, say, whatever the intel that we got at the end of Colonial Marines, well, had the Colonial Marines go to some planet. I'd like to see an actual, like, already colonized and already developed planet, as opposed to these, like, starting off colonies, just because I would like to see what happens to a city once Xenomorphs, like, absolutely wipe out the population and have been allowed to grow there. And that's what happens there. The Colonial Marines arrive at this planet. Turns out that the entire population is pretty much wiped out or gone. Things have gone to hell, because this is also where Weyland-Yutani facility is located. That's what they were going to. They were going to go there and raid this facility to see what they were up to. All hell breaks loose. Several Marines are left behind during a fallback plan. And pretty much the remaining Marines are trying to get off the planet and back up to their ship before, say, it gets nuked. Maybe towards the end of the campaign see a little PMC action, but not until then. Not a moment sooner. That's kind of what I'd like to see for the story. I mean, it's not hard to come up with a story for aliens, to come up with purposes to put Colonial Marines somewhere and then have aliens basically fuck them up. But pacing of the story needs to be like so, at least I prefer it to be like so, where we start off strong, Marines show up, we're kicking ass, we have lots of bullets, lots of guns, etc. And then as, of course, the campaign furthers on, we begin to lose momentum, lose power, and it begins to shift focus to more of survival horror and a flight or fight aspect of, do we sit here and continue to fight aliens, or do we start to run and get out of here and try to get to the objective as quick as possible, with moments of sealing doors, unsealing doors, hacking doors, creating blockades, setting up sentries, and all that become a core aspect of this, of flight or fight, towards the, like, halfway of the campaign is what I'd like to see. Of course, bring back that customization that we saw for Colonial Marines for the multiplayer and perhaps co-op modes. For campaign, I'm not sure how I'd like to see co-op action. No, not co-op action, but customization for Marines there. I prefer to say that for co-op modes and multiplayer, where we can more or less invest ourselves. For the story, I like to invest ourselves in the Marines. And I'll take a page out of Angry Joe here, because I liked his review. Watch his review. It's pretty spot on / angry. And for single player, I like there to be like a pool of Marines that we choose from besides player one. Sorry, player one, you're screwed over. But your co-op buddies can pick from this pool of Marines, and they all have a certain function and all that. They have perks Which the multiplayer of the last one, I didn't say it, but they had perks and all that for the Marines. And I'd like to see those be used for them, whilst through the campaign, that list begins to dwindle down. So say you start off like 3 smart gunners, towards the halfway point, you only have like 1, and then eventually that guy doesn't even use the smart gun anymore due to the fact he can't find ammo anymore. I like to kind of see that, or of course, if the developer that's given this can work the system, maybe add a permadeath system, or now you always just pick from this list of Marines, and then the moment that Marine dies throughout the co-op campaign, that Marine can no longer be used, of course. Well, I like to see these kind of elements implemented for Colonial Marines. See how that turns out. Again, they kind of already shat on it. Alien Isolation brought it back. I'd still like to have a kick-ass Colonial Marines game. So, of course, like, comment, subscribe. Twitter's down there for more details. Let me know what you think of the idea, or if you got ideas of your own. And as always, you're welcome to come back over to GamingHouse for more gameplay and commentary.